This scene from John Ford's final Western, Cheyenne Autumn, was filmed on November 22nd, 1963, and with a strange irony, at the same moment President Kennedy was being killed in Dallas that day, Sal Mineo, playing Red Shirt, was being photographed being killed on the Navajo Reservation at Monument Valley. Sal Mineo told me about this weird coincidence the year the movie opened, 1964, and certainly neither of us could have guessed that it would be the last consequential piece of film in which Sal would appear, though he lived another 12 years, nor, of course, that Sal, too, would die a violent death, stabbed in a Hollywood alley at the age of 37. Also, Mineo was far too unpretentious a guy ever to make any serious connection between Kennedy and himself, yet both, albeit in vastly different ways, became American symbols, Kennedy of the 60s, Mineo of the 50s. In 1955, after years of TV and Broadway theater work, Sal's first 3 movies were released. For his performance in the third of these, Rebel Without a Cause, directed by Nick Ray, Mineo was nominated by the Academy as Best Supporting Actor. He was 17. His close friend and co-star, James Dean, had died in a car accident before the movie opened. His other co-star, Natalie Wood, also would die through a freak accident 5 years after Sal.
Oh, I used to run away a lot, but they always took me back.
Who?
Mom and Dad. Now that I don't have them anymore, I wish I never had run away.
My mother, I remember, didn't approve of Rebel Without a Cause. She said it painted all the teenagers as poor, mixed-up kids and all the parents as insensitive simpletons without showing any responsible alternative behavior. And certainly Rebel's success led to countless spin-offs on that same theme of misunderstood teenagers. And since Sal was the martyred victim in Rebel, he would play a good number of these sort of characters throughout the 50s and through most of his subsequent career.
I got the bullets!
Strangely enough, in life, nobody could have been less like a withdrawn, insecure, and neurotic teenager than Sal Mineo. Actually, I never saw a movie that even remotely captured his essentially sunny, easygoing qualities, his fast and funny wit, his infectious self-mockery. Unlike so many Hollywood folk, he was only quick to put himself down. Of his other 50s pictures and live TV, though he won an Emmy and starred in a succession of movies, the best now available are the small roles he did in George Stevens' Giant with Elizabeth Taylor, Rock Hudson, and James Dean, and in the Paul Newman picture about Rocky Graziano, Somebody Up There Likes Me, directed by Robert Wise. But it was in 1960, the year Kennedy was elected president, that Sal appeared in his best movie role. Director-producer Otto Preminger cast Mineo as Dove Landau in his hugely successful production of Leon Uris's bestseller, Exodus, also co-starring Paul Newman and Eva Marie Saint. 15-year-old Jill Haworth played opposite Sal, and the two fell in love during the shooting. Together, they made the cover of Life. And Sal got another Oscar nomination for his intense, touching performance as the tortured Israeli. Finally, a rebel with a cause.
It was the duty of those Jews who became Sonderkommandos to shave the heads of other Jews.
Yes.
To remove dead bodies from the gas chambers. To collect gold fillings from their teeth.
Yes! What could I do?
But Sal didn't win the Academy Award, and the prevailing critical climate around Sal in the early 60s as he entered his 20s was not favorable. I guess he wasn't forgiven for his teenage popularity. My own snobbish reaction had distress in it when I found him listed in the John Ford cast on the Cheyenne Autumn location in 1963. But never were preconceived notions more wrong. I never met anyone so instantly disarming as Sal Mineo, with his heady good humor and happy conspiratorial manner. At any note of pomposity in himself or others, he'd just pretend to fall asleep. We became good friends. He was the first to suggest I make a movie of the last picture show, and we were planning a film together when he was killed by a violent 19-year-old whose motive was robbery. He didn't know who Sal was and got about $7 off him. Until the murderer was caught, of course, Hollywood and the media speculated on various sex and drug scenarios that blamed Sal for his own death, the usual comfortable rationale. But Mineo's family and friends believed differently. They knew him as the kind of generous pal you are lucky to find once in a lifetime, and a damn good actor.